How's it going, everybody? It's your boy Jose, aka TheNYCGeek, aka TNG, aka your Elden Lord. Even on the midst of allergies from having cut my damn grass this morning and sneezing my head off, still your Elden Lord, aka the one who will sit the throne today, aka your tribal chief, aka the guy who's hoping you guys had a great weekend. And I wanted to touch on something. I wanted to make a quick little video that I want to first thank Porter Black Garrett, that he mentioned this on this recent episode of Friday Night Tights, and it just made me laugh. And I'll get into it because if you've been keeping up with the channel, if you've been keeping up at all with the news, you know of everything that's been happening right now in the gaming industry. How it has become a full-blown war of the customers versus these game developers and these woke zombies that do not respect and do not give a shit about this medium, okay? And it is starting to drag in pundits, conservative pundits like Matt Walsh, who, again, I don't agree with a lot that Matt Walsh says. There are some points that I agree with him, and there are some things I don't. But they're bringing in normies like him, okay? And he's a condescending shit, right? Especially the way that he's addressing this. But I've said it's better to get more eyeballs on these issues and for people to understand than for it not to be exposed to the mainstream, right? However, Porter Black Garrett said something on Friday Night Tights over on Nerdrotic's channel. And he said, you know what Matt Walsh should do is Matt Walsh should make a video called "What is a Gamer?" And I thought, you know what, that's so damn funny. I said, you know what? I'm sorry, Porter Black. I'm gonna steal that. I'm gonna make a video called "What is a Gamer?" because I think I have the answer. I think I have a good answer for it. And what is a gamer? I'm a gamer. I'm a gamer because I'm old enough to have been alive when the original NES came out. Not the mini that's over there. I'm talking about the OG NES. I'm sure many of you were. Okay, my family couldn't afford it immediately, and I was young back in '85, but my parents got it for me when I was around 5 years old, because that was one of my earliest memories in life, was being garbage at Duck Hunt, and I would hold the NES zapper right to the screen. Like if this was a screen, I would hold it right there so that I could cheat and get a better score. And I remember getting stuck at Legend of Zelda and having to ask my friends, like, how do you get through this damn puzzle, man? I can't figure this damn thing out. Hell, I remember the Friday the 13th NES game, and that game gave me nightmares. That and the DOS-based Friday the 13th Nightmare on Elm Street game, oh my God, those were horrifying for me as a kid. I'm a gamer because I remember playing the NES, not just the NES, the SNES, and spending ungodly amounts of hours on Secret of Mana, trying to max out all the elements, playing Final Fantasy 3 and hearing Shadow's badass song when, you know, the song plays when he's introduced in the tavern, and Sabin is like, yo, that guy will kill his mom for a nickel, or whatever that line was. Chrono Trigger being one of the greatest games of all freaking time, man. Losing my life to Chrono Trigger, trying to get all the endings. Still to this day, I don't have all the endings. And I got that game on Steam. I got it originally on SNES. I got it on DS when it came out. And I got it on Steam as well. And I still don't have all the damn endings on that game. And finding out that you could play as Magus back then and going back to an earlier save just so that I could put him in my party so I could play as him, and putting in my team of Ayla and Marley. I'm a gamer because I remember when the N64 came out and my parents couldn't get their hands on the N64. They couldn't get on their hands on the system. But for Christmas, they got me Mario 64. They got me the game, but they couldn't get me the system. And they felt so bad that they went to the local Blockbuster, because back then you could rent the system from Blockbuster, and they rented me a Nintendo 64 for 2 weeks. While my dad busted his ass working overtime in the projects so that he could get me that Nintendo 64. And I remember sinking hundreds upon hundreds of hours in Final Fantasy VII, having a separate save file prior to Arif's death, before you get to the whatever it was, the Temple of Ancients or the City of Ancients, before it gets to where you can't get back out to the main map screen and play with her anymore. I remember having a save file and her having her ultimate limit break just because I love that goddamn game, and following every unsubstantiated rumor out there, because back then it was a Wild West and you would believe anything. And there's rumors that the Japanese version, you could bring her back and all this stuff. I remember that because I'm a gamer, and because 10, 20, more than 30 years later, these memories are still with me because I love this medium, because I have loved video games my whole life, not just my adult life, not just my teen life. I'm talking about my as a kid, and they have helped shape me into the person I am today. They have gotten me out of some of the hardest times in my life, when I have lost loved ones, when I have been at wit's end at my job, when I have felt useless, like I could never amount to anything. I could at least turn on a game, and whether it be World of Warcraft or it was Ark or even League of Legends or something else, and hell, Izuna the Jobless Ninja, random games, and I could escape for a while from that, okay? Because that's what it was. And I know I am not the only person who feels this passion about video games. I know there's many, many more out there who feel even more passionate than I do. I am a gamer who has been blessed to have my wife be with me for almost 2 decades. We've been together. I had a damn good job in the city and I gave that up. I left it to get out that hell. And I'm even happier now where I live. I'm surrounded by friends that I've known for also almost 20 years. So yeah, I'm a gamer, right? But I'm telling you this last bit because I'm also a regular person. There is nothing the two of them don't have to be exclusive. You could be a gamer and a regular person who works a 9-to-5 job. And that's what the majority of gamers are. Not all of them, obviously, but most of us are. And we're just regular people who love these games, who love whether it be Call of Duty or Splatoon or Helldivers 2 or Tetris or Dr. Mario, I don't know, whatever the hell is going on, Fall Guys. I'm a gamer, and that's the one thing that all of us real gamers have in common, okay? It's not our politics, it's not our backgrounds, it's not our race, it's not where we were born, it's not our sexuality, it doesn't matter. It's that we love this medium. We respect it. It's been with us for longer than I've been alive, than many of us have been alive. There's a 90-year-old grandma who plays more Skyrim than anyone else I think has ever played on this planet. Okay? And we gamers don't want this industry to be crippled, to be destroyed by people who don't care about games. People who don't give a damn about this medium, okay? Except for how they can use it as a platform, okay, to spew forth the message, their ideals, and that we've seen this already happen with other beloved hobbies. Movies are no longer a way to escape, okay? Now they are a ham-fisted way to deliver just racist rhetoric right into your eyeballs directly, okay? Like that film, The Association of Magical Negroes. Comic books are no longer about good guys versus bad guys and superpowers and all that. It's about promoting woke ideologies, about forcing diversity and inclusivity in at all costs, even if it means that originality goes out the window and that minorities are getting sloppy seconds or sloppy thirds, tokenized characters, okay? They don't care about that. And now, because they don't care about that, the Western comic book industry is dead. It's dead and gone because of it. Completely replaced by manga, which has been a better medium for ages now. We have seen this happen to tabletop games, okay? To pillars of pop culture here, and not just in America, around the world, okay? We have seen Dungeons and Dragons that has existed for half a century. That system came out in the 70s, okay? And now Wizards of the Coast and their employees are just, they're dismissing that achievement as just the works of, quote, some old white dudes that would have been out of touch or something like that. And Wizards of the Coast is more concerned with telling you about the pronouns of an NPC than they are about telling a coherent story anymore, like in Rime of the Frost Maiden, because that happens in Rime of the Frost Maiden, and many others of their garbage modules. Okay? Now, and they're busy telling you that the concept of a half elf is racist because apparently two races getting together is racist according to Wizards of the Coast. These parasites now are trying to sink their disgusting tendrils into gaming to ruin that as well. And these game developers insult you. They insult you, their would-be paying customer. I cannot fathom how you could be in a business where your job is to sell a product to somebody and you're sitting there insulting your customer. It boggles the mind. It makes me think, whatever happened to the concept of the customer's always right? You give me something and I give you money. That's how it works. And they don't want, and you know why? They don't want that anymore, because they don't want you to have a choice about how you spend your money. They don't want you to have a choice about how you spend your money and your time. They don't want that. They want you to be a consumer. Okay? They don't want you to be a customer. They want you to be a consumer. They want you to open your mouth as wide as you can, and they want you to swallow every bit of racist rhetoric, from them telling you that it's okay to be racist against white people. Okay? Every bit of their woke poison, and they will stop at nothing to do this. Okay? And there are ways we can fight this, but the most effective way is what we're doing now. We have got to remind them that we don't want this. We won't pay for it. Okay? We don't have to pay you for it. And that's when we'll start turning it. Because let me tell you something. These woke companies, they exist here, right? But behind them are these soulless companies like EA and them. You think that these multi-million-dollar companies care about these ideologies? They don't. They just want a virtue signal. They think that they were fooled into thinking that the woke ideology was the way to get more money, and they didn't realize no, it wasn't. It wasn't, and now they're starting to realize it. And when those companies start to lose multi-million-dollar losses, that's when they'll be like, because listen, they don't give a shit about us gamers, but they sure as hell don't give a shit about the woke zombies either. What they care about is who's going to line their pockets with money. Okay? And they're already starting to see that these gamers, that these zombies are costing them the money that real gamers would have supplied. Because if Suicide Squad was so, I always say, if there's a market for this stuff, how come these games are failing? How come comics are failing? How come these movies are failing? Clearly, you have lost not just a half of your audience, you have lost so much of your audience by pushing them away, by trying to make them the bad guys. We're not the bad guys, we're your customers, okay? At the end of the day, we give you money and you give us something we want, okay? So what is a gamer? A gamer is just me, it's just you, it's just the people who love this medium, who respect it enough. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you're black, if you're white, if you're Chinese, you're Japanese, you're Hawaiian, Samoan, it don't matter. You could be Christian, Muslim, Jew, you could be an atheist, you could believe in God, you could be whatever the hell you are. What unites us is that you love this medium. That's what makes you a gamer, is that you love and that you respect the medium as it is. It's not to try to keep people out. The only people that we want to keep out are the ones who come into these mediums and say, I want to change it. I want to change it to fit the way I want it to be. That's when you have to start gatekeeping those bad actors. Yes, it is true. You have to start gatekeeping those bad actors. So anyway, that's my little bit of a rant as to what I think constitutes as a gamer. I think a gamer is just someone who loves this medium. Just like if you ask me what was a comic book fan, a comic book fan is somebody who loved comic books. It doesn't mean that you had to collect every damn issue of the X-Men or every damn thing there. No. But did you love that? Did you love that medium? Did it bring you joy? Did you enjoy the way it was presented to you by the creator? Then you're a comic book fan. You didn't try to come in and say, well, I don't see myself in that character. I don't see myself in that character, so you got to change it and I want to be represented. I'm going to leave it with this. It is the most sociopathic thing I have heard when they start saying that, well, we're doing this for modern audiences because this way people can see themselves. The only way that you can see the only way you can relate to another person, to another character, is that they have to look the way you do, and you can't relate to them because of that. If they don't look like you are probably a sociopath and probably a racist. Because imagine, listen to this. Listen to how that sounds. That's like telling me, I see someone out on the street. I see a Chinese guy. Chinese guy's getting mugged. He doesn't look like me. I can't relate to him. I can't see myself in his situation because he doesn't look like me. So I can't feel empathy. Empathy isn't built upon appearance. It's built upon experience, not appearance, experience. He is going through an experience that I don't ever want, that unfortunately I have gone through, that I've been mugged, and I don't want him to go through that. So I feel empathy for him as another person. It's not about having to look like me. So to me, that's what I'm going to leave it on. I just feel like these gaming developers and who are trying to spout the most vile stuff I've heard in a long time, like you can't be racist against white people, are the definition of not being gamers. I told you what I think a gamer is. It's someone who loves this medium, someone who respects it as it is, someone who enjoys it. And the people who are not the gamers are the ones who come in and try to change it to fit their own beliefs and are spouting the most racist shit I've heard in a long time. The most openly racist shit I've heard in a long time. So anyway, I'm going to leave it on that. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I hope you guys had a great weekend. As always, please, like the whole thing I've been hammering these past few videos, your time is precious. Your money is precious too. But you could get that back. It's your time that matters the most. Don't waste it on these buffoons. Tell your loved ones you love them. Hang out with your parents. Hang out with your loved ones. Hang out with your kids. Go touch some grass. Go touch some grace. That's an Elden Ring reference. Go touch some ass. Go do something. But don't waste it on these buffoons. Not on them. Because you are not a consumer. You are a customer. Take care of yourselves and stay safe. Okay, guys? Stay safe.